I'm going to say this to you, bro. You've never heard anyone say this to you before. I know you haven't. But if you want to be a winner, you're going to have to be a bit of a loser for a bit. And I know what you're saying, a loser? How could you tell me to be that? Losers aren't cool. Losers don't get with girls. Losers are weird. This modern world, bro, has truly changed what it means to be a young man that's about it, right? It's sad. We prioritize the wrong things. All of us have all these bad habits instilled in us. And the world has gone so backwards that we think being... Well, let's talk about it, bro. Right? This has been literally what all of us young men try to escape from. Now, of course, there are genuine losers in this world, right? But listen to me for the sake of this video and try to understand what I'm going to say. Look, this world has truly made it that degenerates, right? Let's go degens, right? Degenerates in this modern world, they're cool, right? This is cool. This is the pinnacle of success. I want to be a degenerate so that I can go get with girls that have no moral standards for themselves, that I can go do some drugs, and I can prioritize being a bum and literally denigrating myself so that my friends get a few laughs, right? Wasting all my time doing all this dumb stuff. This in the modern world has become cool. And I was one of these guys for a very long time, bro, and I can tell you, there's nothing in that life. What, you sleep with some girls that have no standards for themselves, that are yuck, you lose all your brain cells to drinking and you waste all this time to being hungover and doing drugs. There's nothing in it. And I did it for almost 4 years of my life, bro. 4. And it ruined my life. It did. And so many of you guys are prioritizing your whole life to become this, and I can tell you, you'll wake up one day and you'll have nothing to it. You slept with a few girls, got a few memories that are all kind of blurred into the one same thing. It's a joke. It's actually a joke. And I'll tell you this, it's the degenerates that are truly putting a bad name on what it means to be this. Right? A nerd. And no one actually looks at or really breaks open what it means to be a nerd. And nerds have the worst kind of stereotype of being losers. But I can tell you this right now, if you inhabit or instill what characteristics a nerd has, they are truly winners. It's a weird way to look at it, but it's the truth. And look at it, bro, right? When you think of a nerd, you think of someone that has intellectual tenacity. You think of them as what? Well, they're always wanting to learn, right? They're just kind of always gunning to learn. What happens when you learn? You become smart. When you think of them, you think of someone that is persistent. And you think of them as somewhat resilient. You know why? Because it's usually the nerds that are always kind of picked on at school. And, they're being, they're being just bullied and stuff. So these guys, nerds, they're persistent, they're resilient, they get back up every single day, right? And they keep on doing what they're supposed to do, even though people are bullying them, throwing pieces of paper at them in class. Bro, these are the guys that have more in them than the degens, right? Because something happens to a degen, they're stuck in bed for a week. They can't do anything. The whole world breaks, falls apart, where these guys keep on going. With this, right, nerds are meticulous. They're meticulous in so many areas of their life, bro. They pay so much attention to detail. Their assignments, what they're supposed to do. They're always focused, laser focused on what it is that they need to achieve. None of these degenerates have any of these traits, right? And we can even go. They have a dedicated work ethic, right? When you think of a nerd, this is what they're doing. They're working hard. They're dedicated to what they're doing. These guys, degenerates, what's cool? None of it. Look at it. Look at the difference. Girls, drugs, being a bum, alcohol, being lazy. Who's going to win in life when it comes to truly building a thriving business? Being a man of honor and virtue. Now, I get what you're going to say. There are some nerds that don't inhabit what it means to be confident and have that relentlessness in them. But I will tell you, that's why we're going to peel back the layers and really understand that you need to inhabit these traits, having intellectual tenacity, being persistent, being meticulous, being dedicated. And you can add to this also being innovative, right? Always thinking, always doing stuff. You got to understand that these are the traits here that have been demonized and labeled as, well, you're a loser. Now, we could really kind of go back and think, oh, no, well, they're not really like this. They like to play games and play World of Warcraft, or, they like chess or whatever, bro. Like, you can look at that. People that like World of Warcraft, play chess, this and that, bro, they're generally really smart people. I don't know about the computer games and stuff, but people that like chess and play piano and do all this, they are very intellectual people. They are smart. And I want you to understand, there is nothing wrong with having a period where you are going to be labeled as a nerd or a loser from the degenerates. Because in a real man's eyes of mine, eyes of the men that are truly about it, you will be labeled as someone that's, whoa, trying to win, conquer, build. And this there will truly transform you and set you on a path of winning. So we're going to break this open, bro, because again, I know no one has spoken to you this way, and I want you to understand this. There is nothing wrong with being a loser, and this is what's going to happen, right? When you start to be a loser, and it's a funny way I'm framing it, but trust me, understand this, bro, right? You're going to have to say this a lot. You're going to have to say no. You're going to have to say no to social outings, right? You're going to have to say no to drugs. You're going to have to say no to alcohol. You're going to have to say no to video games. You're going to have to say no to being lazy. When you just want to hang out with your friends and waste time. You're going to have to say no to just all these things in your life, right? And this is what's going to even put you into that label of being a loser. You want to stop playing video games. Your video game friends are going to call you a loser. You want to get your body on point. Your lazy, unproductive friends are going to think that you're a loser. You want to stop doing drugs and going out drinking. People that abuse drugs and alcohol are going to call you a loser. Everyone is going to call you a loser when you don't want to do the loser antics that they do. But to be a winner, you cannot be doing what the losers do. Right? When it comes to the degenerates. And those are the people that are going to tell you that you're a loser. So understand this, bro. Really kind of let this sink in with you. Because I'll tell you this right now, right? Once you start saying no, and all these people start coming at you, calling you weird, just saying that you're a loser for going to the gym and getting your life together and not doing drugs or alcohol and, being productive. Once you start saying no, I want you to understand this right now. You're going to have to do something that only a few men can do. And I do believe that you can do this, right? Is that you are going to have to go into a period of isolation. And if you give a man, I reckon 1 to 5 years, right? 1 to 5 years of being labeled as a nerd or a loser, right? You will truly be able to set yourself apart from the rest of the world and cultivate the life that you want. Because I look at all these traits of a loser, of a nerd, as the traits that you need to build the life that you want. It's similar to the gym, right? When you go to the gym and you build your body to the best it's ever been, right? Well, you know what you learn from that? You learn showing up. You learn being consistent. You learn the trait of delaying gratification, right? Delaying grat. You learn of discipline. There are so many things. And what I want you to understand, it's the same thing. When you're a nerd, you're a loser. You learn all of these things, right? When it comes to focusing all your time, because now you're saying no to your degenerate friends and you're showing up to build your body the best it's ever been. You're showing up to put that work into your side hustle, your business. You're staying consistent. You're staying persistent. You're doing all these things. You're going to have this period, right, that will last anywhere from 1 to 5 years if you're truly a young man that's about it. I am a year and a half into pure isolation. I have 2 friends and I focus and I level myself up and I stay on the course that I've set myself for my life, and I'm building up my momentum. I'm getting smarter. I'm learning. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And this right here, right, this isolation period, this is what you need to slingshot you past everyone. And I keep saying that because it's the truth. If you give a man some time and he's disciplined and he puts his life on the line for his goals, you will not be able to lose. When is the last time that you did this? Ever? right? Because usually when you set yourself goals, your friends, well, they can distract you with a phone call. You can waste all your time just scrolling. You get so distracted by this modern world, right, that you haven't ever really been in this period of being labeled as a loser, being in this isolation period, instilling these traits that you learn in the gym, instilling the traits of what it means to be a loser, right? That has intellectual tenacity, resilience, is meticulous, is dedicated, is innovative, right? All these things. And I'm going to say something to you, bro. This period of isolation, 1 to 5 years, being labeled as a loser by your degenerate friends, right? I'm going to say this to you. And you can think of this however you want. But take it from me, because I am an embodiment of this. And I'm telling you where my life is at this current moment. This is the best time of your life. I mean this. See, what none of us truly understand is that we generally always start here. And we're always aiming to get up here. If you're a young man, that's about it. Because so many of us would go through life and we don't care about leveling ourselves up, and we'll end up here. Just the same place after 5 years. Time's passed, we know we're better off. But this young man here, right? I want you to understand that this journey here, going across the board with no improvements. This young man, right? And this young man, you know what? Is the exact same, right? Exact same. And this is usually always accompanied by, you actually lose yourself a bit, or you get so caught up with your feelings and you start to develop anxiety and depression, and your body's just not on point, nothing about you has developed, and yeah, you're exactly the same person. And it's shit. It's shit that you go through life, 5 years, 10 years have gone by and you got nothing, you're the same person. But this young man here, right? If we were to actually just move this a little bit, put it here, same time, right? Same time as this guy, 5 years. Let's just say that, 5 years. This person here and this journey here, this is the best time of your life when you're a young man about it. You've heard this a lot from everyone that you look up to. Take it from me if you look up to me, bro, but every single other person, right? The journey and the process of developing yourself, that is where freedom comes from. That is where you start to truly feel proud and confident on yourself. You feel good. Really understand this and get it, that this time here, right? Let's just say that's time. This was going to pass anyway. So, would you much rather become proud of yourself, become a man that is so much more excelled by being labeled as a loser from his friends, from these degenerate kids around you, but you become the man that you want? Because that's what's going to happen, right? You're going to have the best time of your life, or people are going to label you as a loser. Or would you much rather go through your life being the same person, but hey, to your degenerate friends, to your loser friends, you're cool? Come on. It's a no-brainer. You should understand this. I want you to get this, bro. This journey, it's fun. It's actually the best time of your life when you start to see that progress. When you start that business and you see a tiny bit of results. When you isolate yourself for a bit, but you're ultimately leveling yourself up well past everyone else around you. This somewhat ghost mode, right? When you're in this isolation period, people are starting to call you all these names and thinking that you're weird because you want to get your body on point, you want to make more money, you want to live with better standards for your life, be a better citizen for society. When you start doing that, right, it's the best. And I'm an embodiment of that right now, and I can tell you that. You might feel lonely some days, and you might feel, is this grind really worth it when you're putting in all the work and you're not seeing the results? But when ultimately it compounds, because that's what happens, right? As a man, your progress compounds. It's work, no progress. It's work again, no progress. Work, no progress, then work. Boom, progress, right? You start to realize, whoa, this is what I wanted. And it all happened. And it took some time. But when you become that man that you want to be, you'll start to think, whoa, the journey, the progress, the process was the best. So understand this, bro. If you want to be a winner, you're going to have to be a loser for a bit. Love you, brother.